Aloha, good afternoon. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz, joining you from our breaking news show in Honolulu, Hawaii. And today with me is Adriana Husik, and I'm so sorry if I probably pronounce your name a little bit wrong. And Adriana and I, we met last year, and she is from a small country in Europe, Montenegro. I'm sure you heard it. Montenegro is south of Croatia. Many people heard about Croatia. It's north of Albania, close to Serbia. So it's in part of the former Yugoslavia, but it has its own charm. It's really a beautiful place. I really enjoyed my visit. I was there for 5 nights, and 2 nights I actually spent in the area we're going to talk about today, where Adriana is from. So tell us, Adriana, how are you doing? How's everything? And tell us where you're from.
First of all, thank you very much for the invite, and it is a pleasure to talk again with you. And I hope that in the coming minutes, I will be able to transfer some of the information about our beautiful country that you well described in terms of the positioning. We can maybe add that we are just opposite of Italy, so people can navigate easier. Truly, as you said, Montenegro is small in terms of the size country. We are only almost 700,000 people living. But it's a country of the many beauties, natural beauties, and we are known for what is called wild beauty. Being part of the Europe country that is looking to join the European Union, it also gives its own value to us. We used to be part of ex-Yugoslavia, and in 2006, Montenegro regained independence, which makes us one of the youngest states in this sense. If I'm to describe the country like in few sentences, we have everything. We have mountains, we have sea, we have lakes, we have rivers, we have 5 national parks. This is the country where you can ski in one day and swim at the same day. Because again, being a small country, it gives its own beauty to being able to commute much easier than what you do in much bigger countries.
No, in Montenegro, interesting enough, you mentioned the European Union. It's not part of the European Union yet, but you have the euro. So if you're coming in from Croatia, or from any other, Croatia now also has the euro. When I was there, it didn't have the euro. So now traveling in euro is even in Europe. In Europe, I mean, it's even easier because you can travel all the way from Northern Europe through Germany, Austria, Croatia, to Montenegro now, and you have one currency, what makes it really easy.
For sure, this is one of the things that people like when coming here, because it is much easier in terms of the accession, but also in terms of the communication. So for years now, we are using euro as a currency, and many countries do not actually need a visa to come to Montenegro. And being accessible through 2 international airports that are in Montenegro, Podgorica and Tivat, and nearby Dubrovnik, also is one of the perks and the ways to come to Montenegro.
Yeah, and Adriana, you're from Porto Novi, right?
That's right. I'm working at Porto Novi,
Okay.
which is a resort in Herceg-Novi. Originally, I'm from Podgorica, from the capital city, but I moved here 8 years ago when I joined the project.
Yeah, and Porto Novi, I went there, and I've heard a little bit about it. Porto Novi is really an area what is so different from anywhere else in Montenegro. Every area has its own charm. It's different, but if someone is really in for a luxury vacation and want to see something special and get away from everything, but be in a surrounding of pure luxury and nice restaurants, and everything is so clean, and views, you see the cruise ships coming in. This is actually where Adriana is. I've seen her office, and she looks out of her office and she sees everything. It's also the area where the famous resort is. What is very different from any other place, it's built on pure luxury. What's the name of the resort?
So Porto Novi is the resort that was built in Herceg-Novi, which is one of the cities of Montenegro. And the place that we are currently at, where we were built, used to be the military base. So 2012, our investors signed a long-term agreement with the government of Montenegro, and we start cleaning the area, which is at the very entrance of the Boka Bay, which is a fjord-like bay where you have 4 smaller bays, and we are in the first of the bays. So any cruise ship, any boat coming to Montenegro will see us first. So Porto Novi started its journey in Montenegro 2012. We officially opened in 2019, and we spread on 26 hectares of the land and have a residential part, hotel, marina, retail part. So it is kind of a semi-open resort where the ones who are residents have their own privacy, have their own accesses, but at the same time being open 365 days. It makes a bunch of we provided a bunch of the amenities and the services and opportunities for people to come to enjoy, whether they are just guests or someone who is coming for a vacation. So it is a place to enjoy. It replicates a small city because it is built in a way that we showcase the beauty of the country, the beauty of the area where we are, combining all that you may need, as you had a chance to experience while staying with us, from pharmacy to the different restaurants and the bars.
Yeah, and it's an area where you can actually stay long term. I stayed for my first night. I stayed in an apartment what Adriana organized. It was a beautiful 2-bedroom apartment. I never wanted to leave. They had to call security to get me out of there. No, I didn't leave voluntarily, but I didn't want to. It was beautiful. I remember sitting on the balcony and you overlook the harbor and see everything going on. It's just really stunning. The apartment was ultra modern, everything you needed, from a kitchen I can only dream of here at home, and nice comfortable beds, clean bathrooms, and it was quite nice. And there's also the one and only resort. I stayed there for a second night. What is I think it's the same resort developer that does this famous hotel in Dubai, it's more than 5-star. You know, if there were more than 5 stars, it probably would have 6 stars. And so, but the entire area is it's just one resort basically. Everything is together there, and I think it's excellent for people who want to stay a little bit longer or maybe even work away from home. So staying a few months. I know some of the apartments are for sale, so people actually live there, and others are short-term vacation rentals. But I think most of your people, from what I remember, they're staying for a month or 2 or 3, and they kind of make it almost a permanent home, right?
That's right. We have the 218 residences altogether built, and each of them is for sales. If you decide, because you love so much Porto Novi, to buy the residence at Porto Novi, you will be able to rent it out, and you can do it yourself, or we as a company can do it for you. So we have the rental program that we manage. At the same time, out of these residences, we have a certain number that we rent, and we have guests staying in average at least 5-6 nights plus. As you very nicely described, and I'm really happy to hear that you were pleased with the stay with us. People like to come here with friends, with families. These are the huge apartments, above 70 square meters, which is more than enough when you're coming for the vacation. More and more, we do have people coming here to stay for a longer stay, as you mentioned, and to work out of home, which became a very popular especially after the pandemic, which learned us the different way for us to function. So aside the residences that we have, that we sell, which are divided in 2 categories: marina residences overlooking the marina that we have just in front, and the village residences, which is more like a Mediterranean kind of a area. We have the very first one and only in Europe, which is integral part of Porto Novi. I'm mentioning the first one and only in Europe because of the service that you nicely described, but also the different activities that people can do also in the hotel if they are staying at Porto Novi. Integral part of one and only is Chenoe Spa, which is a wellness spa, which gives a lot of opportunities also for the people to enjoy and to do the best that they can do for themselves while being with us.
No, and tell me, it's really compared, it is very luxury, and luxury, of course, means expensive, but it really isn't that expensive. Tell us, well, what does it cost usually to stay in one of your beautiful apartments, like for a few days or for a month or for a year, and compared to what it costs maybe to stay in the hotel?
We consider ourselves and underestimated luxury, so it's not a blink kind of a luxury. The area itself is truly Mediterranean one, and people here come to find the peace and to enjoy the time for themselves, but also with their families. Depending on the time of the year coming and depending on the land, we have different packages. So it goes from several €100 to stay, depending again on the time of the year. So people can start booking already from €200 or €300 per night. But the best way to get information is to reach our team via our website or via email, stay@portonovi.com, so people get the proper information. In terms of the hotel, it's a bit of a different arrangement, and the price is different, because here we are talking also about the residences and the apartments. And as you well said, if there is more than 5 stars, one and only would be 6 or 7 stars, as they say.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But in relations, I mean, I'm here in Hawaii, and many of our listeners have been to Hawaii. This is not that expensive compared to what we are used to here, even for regular hotels. And what makes it nice, really, I thought it was ideal if you really want to get away for a month or two and work. It for me, this would be like a dream, just to be there and find this type of surrounding, and you can get your job done at the same time. Now, when
yes, you are right, definitely, Jürgen. There we just had this week a few families checking in, people coming to work for several months from Montenegro. We also have the events and conferences venue where we have the kind of small offices that people can use, and lots of the restaurants and the bars in the area itself gives the opportunity for people to have the stable internet connection, to have all that they need. As I mentioned, we have the pharmacy, we have the supermarket, cleaning services, kindergarten, aside of the bars, the galleries, and the shopping area.
Yeah, and how do you get there? I can say when I visited you guys, I had a rental car, and that was wonderful to actually for me to drive around in Montenegro and your neighboring countries with the car. It made it very independent. I can only recommend this. But as you rightfully say, there's also airport. There's Dubrovnik, what's not too far. It's in Croatia, and then there's also an airport on your side in Montenegro you can fly into. And if you are coming from Europe, it's very easy. Even if you're arriving from the United States, there are airlines. What airlines are flying into Dubrovnik or into, what's the name of your airport there? Turkish
So we
Airlines,
have,
I think, is coming into your
yeah,
part.
Turkish
Yeah.
Airlines is coming to Podgorica and to the Tivat, also to Dubrovnik. And I would say that this is one of the main connections. So Istanbul became really the hub for the travelers from around the world. We are well connected with Frankfurt, Vienna, Zurich, Rome, Belgrade. So if you're coming from the States, you will probably need to change one airport to come to us. Podgorica, which is the capital city of Montenegro, is only 2 hours from Herceg Novi, and Tivat is like 40 minutes, which is the neighboring town. The same is with Dubrovnik. So you can choose between these 3 airports. People usually, especially when they come for a longer stay, they do take a rent-a-car, and they enjoy traveling around, especially if you come springtime or the late summer, beginning of the autumn. It's really amazing. And from the southern part of the Montenegro up to the northest, you will need, let's say, maybe 5 hours to drive, and you will really enjoy the beautiful scenery. So it is worth staying longer.
Yeah, I came actually from Bosnia Herzegovina. I drove through the entire country, and it's wonderful. And talking about prices, of course, they don't have this type of luxury accommodation in Bosnia, but to have a dinner for $10 or less with wine and everything you can think of, it's an absolute bargain. I was amazed, and it's really close to where you are. Everything is right there. Croatia is right there. So definitely an area, if you haven't visited Montenegro yet, put it on your bucket list. Many people travel to Paris, to London, to Frankfurt, to Bavaria, but this is something a little bit overlooked, and it's worth it. It's not only Porto Negro, it's also the rest of the country. It's just beautiful. I mean, you have sceneries you can only really picture in beautiful guidebooks, and I can say I was quite impressed, and I think there is it's kind of hidden. So I think people should go now before even more people come and explore it. But Adriana, I really wanted to thank you. I know it's in the morning, early in the morning where you are. Here it's now evening in this part of the world, and I thank you for joining us today in our breaking news show. Tell us one more. What do you recommend for our listeners and our viewers? When is the best time to visit you guys?
I mean, we are the four-season destination, so it really depends on what people are looking for. For example, now I cannot unfortunately show you. We have the snow, the mountains, surrounding mountains, which is beautiful. So just last weekend we had a gathering, the friends from here, and we went up to the mountains 30 minutes from here and enjoyed a bit of a snow. And then we came back to have the coffee sitting in the sun. Personally, I like very much the late spring and the early autumn because of the temperatures, which are very nice, and then the colors are amazing because you really enjoy all the nature, all the scenery, all the greenery that you can have. Those who are very much into the fun and enjoying the busy life, and of course enjoying the sun and the beaches, this is definitely July and August. For the first comers, I would always say and invite to come May, June, which is already the time when you can swim and enjoy also the other things and do some maybe activities with the temperatures that are not that hot.
One more last thing, because I got to get into your food, because your food is amazing. Tell us about what's a typical local dinner in Montenegro?
We like to eat a lot, and being the country which is like in the middle of the Balkans, we had influences from all the countries from all around and through the ages. So the cuisine is very rich, and you will have lots of influence from the Italian cuisine. You will have lots of influences from the Ottoman cuisine at the same time. On the coast, of course, it's more about the fish and the more healthy, let's say, eating. While for us in the central part and up in the north, we like more meat and the vegetables. Dinner is very important for us. We usually have it kind of late, and it's a social time with friends. So with a good wine or with good brandy, we call it rakia, with some nice dishes, whether you will go just for cheese and prosciutto and the olives or like a proper, like a beef. It really depends. My friends who are fish eaters will be able to recommend much more out of the fish. After 8 years living here, I'm still not used that much to the fish.
Yeah, and I was amazed. Everyone is so skinny. I mean, we're here in the United States, people are double and triple size because we use all these different chemicals in the food, and everything what you guys have is like nature and fresh. It's so refreshing. A little bit, I have to say, here in Hawaii, we also have a lot of fresh food. We have fish right from the ocean and vegetables, but in many countries, you know, in many areas in the United States, of course, you have the McDonald's society, and that makes you fat. You know, in Montenegro, you don't see a lot of people who are really overweight. I don't know how you guys do it. So.
It's a Mediterranean. I think it's a way of living, but yes, we are truly blessed to have the fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, that the food is still organic. We drink water from the tap. So, and it's a really nice and good water. So this is I think also one of the important information to be mentioned, because people will really enjoy the fresh air. I very often hear from the people coming here visiting us that they really enjoy the air that we have here, that they feel the freshness. And one thing I can promise, you will be amazed with the stars. I never seen the stars as beautiful and the sky beautiful as above Boca Bay. And this is something that is truly worth coming to see.
Well, I want to compete with your, we have the same in Hawaii. So these must be then the two places in the world where the stars are the best. You look up in the sky and you see the stars, millions of them. So no, thank you so much, Adriana, and thank you everyone for tuning in today. And if you missed most of it in the beginning, just stay tuned. We're going to repeat it all day. And then, of course, you find us on our breakingnewsshow.com, and it's linked from eTurbo News and all our affiliated websites like Hawaii News Online, aviation.travel, meetings.travel. So you will be able to see Adriana anytime you want. And if you really think about traveling to Montenegro, just look at the screen. You see the website, how you can find and talk to Adriana. And I'm sure she will do her best to get you there, and also to make sure you have a good time and everything goes smoothly. I know, and when I went there, it was amazing, and I was really impressed. I'm going to come back for a year or so sometimes. Okay.
Looking forward to that, and with the utmost pleasure, myself and the team here is here. We are proud Montenegreens, and we are well known for the hospitality. So for us, it is a truly pleasure to talk about our country, to talk about Porto Novi, and to host you sometime soon.
Thank you so much again, Adriana, and for everyone else, thank you for tuning in, and we see you all soon. Aloha.